You're tuned into Exercise for the Mind, where we give you the best tips on battling mental health with the strength of your body.
Hi everyone, welcome to Exercise for the Mind. I am your host, Raina Wall, and the founder of this podcast. And today I am going to be teaching you the art of having patience in your results. So first, I'm going to start off by talking a little bit about my journey to stress the point that results are not linear. So what does this mean? When people think of getting results or achieving something in the gym or achieving anything in life, you think that it's a straight path to where you're going to go, when really it is not at all. So it's going to be very much a wavy curve, a up and down process, a journey that is going to be not linear at all. From personal experience, I started off in the gym with a lot of cardio, and I'm sure we all know the belief behind cardio that it burns fat, it's the easiest way to lose weight, it's the most convenient, but starting off with that led me to have a lot of letdowns and a lot of impatience in my results because I expected that I was hurting my body so much, or I was putting my body through so much stress that it was going to lead to results. And I learned this the hard way, that it was untrue. So with this process, I began, like I said, with the cardio, but then I jumped to weight training and I gained a little bit of weight because my body wasn't used to this. And I wasn't ready for that. I was stressing out about it. It wasn't making me happy. So then I jumped back to cardio, and then I was having the same results there. And then I ended up switching to doing a hybrid plan where I was doing cardio and I was doing weight training. And that process took me about 6-7 months to find out what worked for my body. And then once it did, it began to get a little bit linear. But even now, like 3 years into my fitness journey, I still get the ups and downs, the roller coaster ride of the journey, because that's what it is. The journey is not linear at all. Have these realistic expectations so you don't get let down. Expect to fail, expect to have fallbacks, and expect to have limits. Like I said earlier, my journey started off at Royal Oak Gym. So this gym is a powerlifting gym. And I started working out every day with my boyfriend, and I started having better results, like I said, once I started implementing that hybrid plan. But it took me multiple different tries, multiple different things I attempted for months at a time or weeks at a time, and I failed, but then I kept trying and kept doing different things to see what worked, because not like one thing doesn't work for everybody, and you really need to find out what your body needs and what it needs to see these results. And that can be a process. Like I said, it can't just be exercise. It can't just be nutrition. It can't just be mindset. It has to be all three combined. And a lot of people lack one or all of these at different stages. And until all three are harnessed at the same time, it is going to continue being a bumpy journey. And that's okay, because it's a process to take hold of all of these different elements and be able to control them and feel that result loading. So a few things you want to ask yourself throughout your fitness journey, throughout your health journey, throughout your journey in general, in any aspect of your life, is what have you accomplished? So what short-term goals have you successfully met? Because any goal is a goal achieved, and that means that you're moving closer to that long-term goal, to that big goal. And any little milestone is worth recognizing and rewarding. So another question is to ask, am I being reasonable as to how long I expect my results to take? But you just have to be realistic with how long you're expecting things to take and giving yourself enough time to do it safely. Another question is, what can I do to accelerate the rate at which those results come? So at a certain point, there are things you could do to get to a goal faster. There are things you can do to really achieve things in a shorter amount of time safely. Next question is going to be, have I been faithful to my original plan? So what a lot of people do, including myself, is I will get to the month duration that I set, and I will say, where am I at my goals? And I have gotten nowhere. But that's because what was I doing on my journey? Was I even doing the things I said I needed to do to get somewhere? Because most times it's no. Like, you say you're going to work out this 3 to 4 times a week, but then it seems like you're patterning. Maybe one week you're not working out, one week you're working out twice, one week you're working out like once. Like, keeping that pattern of inconsistency is going to hurt your results and maybe even negate them from happening. So maybe you will never even achieve these results because you think you're staying true to this plan, but realistically, each detail is not being met, and most of the time it needs to be met to be successful. And the last question I would ask yourself is, does something in your program need to change to meet these goals? So maybe the original plan wasn't the best. Maybe the original plan was not the most efficient way to go about it. And this is the time for you to really reflect and ask yourself, is there something I can change? Is there something I can do different for a while to see if it works? Like I said, I started with the cardio and it wasn't working. So I started weight training only, and then I went back to a hybrid and I finally found what worked. So sometimes things need to be tweaked, and that's fine because that's a part of the learning process. And then just to talk a little bit about the ways that we measure these results for weight loss first. So the first thing is going to be to not pay attention to the scale. Most of the time this is inaccurate on any given day, especially for women, because your body, your hormones, and your cycles and 1,000 different factors actually like determine your scale weight, and most of the time it doesn't even reflect on your actual results and progress. So I would definitely recommend not basing results off of a scale. A good way to do that is to use a tape measure. So a lot of times, like, physically measuring yourself is going to tell you a lot more than what a scale says. So using a tape measure to measure like an arm, a leg, a waist, like any part of the body that you want to make progress in, it's going to be a lot more effective if you just use a tape measure rather than a scale, because most of the time the scales can lie. Another way to measure results is to try on old clothes. So these old clothes that might have been a little tighter then, might have been too loose then, trying on these clothes can not only increase your confidence because you're fitting in things that you never thought you'd fit in and that you saved for this special occasion, can boost that confidence, and it's a great way to show physical results because you can feel it. You can feel how much better you feel on different things, and it's a great thing. It's kind of like a silly way to measure results, but visiting old friends or family members or anybody who hasn't seen you in a while and just seeing what they think, because they're like have a real life comparison. The last time they saw you was probably a lot different than what it is now, and having a third person to kind of reinforce your confidence for you is so beneficial to the mental health. So that is weight loss based. So if you want to measure results for endurance, the first thing is to challenge your intensity. So if you've never ran 5 miles, but you've been training every day, running 2 miles, every day running 3 miles, to push yourself and really challenge that intensity, run 5 miles one day and see if you can do it. And if you can't do it that week, give it 2 more weeks and try it again. And you can measure if you're doing it better, if you can breathe better, if you can run faster, if your mileage is better. You can measure it based on that. Another thing is going to be trying another related activity. So say you're a runner, maybe try to swim. Try to swim a few miles and see if that's easy, if it's hard, and kind of use that to measure a little bit. And then check an exercise log. See, like, if you write things down and you're recording different workouts, you can visually see the progress you're making, the intensities you've been adding to, the weights you've been adding to. And then to avoid discouragement in all realms of results seeking, you're going to want to follow a consistent exercise program like I mentioned earlier. Stay with the original plan, tweak if necessary. Expect the results to come with time. Develop the patience that you need so you don't let yourself down before you can even get to the point that you need to get to see any result. And then delete that part, sorry. The longer it takes, the more rewarding it feels. So if your process takes months on end, imagine how you're going to feel a year later when you have gone beyond those results, when you have accomplished more than you could ever think. Just like in any project in life, the longer it takes, the more accomplished and relieved you feel when it's all said and done. So that's my little piece of advice for you today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a great day. Don't forget to follow us on Spotify and Apple, as well as any other social media platform in the bio. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to keep moving. Have a great day.